Social update UG. Police probes Bobi Wine's NUP over treason for boda accident victims being staged as being tortured. Is this serious? Is the NUP really staging these people? Is the government trying to fake this? What's really going on? The Internal Affairs Minister, Kahinda Otafire, has directed police to immediately embark on investigations into circumstances under which opposition politicians led by the National Unity Platform allegedly paraded boda accident victims as persons tortured by security agencies. What's really happening? Kimulina okutegeera mu Uganda kituufu abantu bawambibwa ne batulugunyizibwa era abantu bavuddeyo nga boogera nti oli bamutulugunya ne bamusuula awo, abamulonda ne bamulonda ne bamuzaayo ewaabwe, addayo ewaabwe nga yabula okumala emyezi nga 8 era abantu oluusi babajjamu enjala babajjako engalo, abamu bafiira naye omusajja yagamba n'okugamba nti neeri balina neggoonya n'ettimba. So I think bino ebintu bibeerayo bituufu. I don't think in any way NUP can bring out people at have an accident. There is a difference between an accident and someone who has been tortured. Last month, NUP paraded several persons in Kenya that they said were victims of torture by the Ugandan government. Muzize mubira police ekuba abantu amasasu ku bigere ebigene babisalako. So they are not of accident, they are of torture. During the meeting dubbed Uganda Human Rights Accountability Conference, the opposition politicians said dozens of their supporters had either been killed or maimed during and in the aftermath of the November 18, 2020 senseless riots, many of whom they paraded before the media. Speaking during the police council on Thursday, Minister Otafire said the opposition politicians committed treason against their own mother country when they paraded fake victims of torture. My question is, personally, if they really paraded victims of accidents instead of those ones of torture, okay, why didn't you allow the parliament to visit these torture chambers? Why didn't the late Eddy allow the parliament to go and visit these torture chambers, or the so-called safe houses? Some of the people taken for demonstration were victims of boda accidents. People talked to Nairobi boda accident victims and claimed they were victims of torture. That is the integrity of our politicians, that some of the people they took were accident victims. What Afide said. The tough talking. What Afide said he could not allow such foolery to continue while tarnishing government's name. We should investigate them and bring them to account. How do you take people who fell down on borders and parade them before international press and say they were victims tortured by police and CMI? This is criminal, and those people who did it should be brought to book. This is not politics. It has gone beyond the boundaries and become criminal. This is treason. Those who recruited boda victims and took them to Nairobi, and the victims themselves who accepted to go, should be held accountable. Of recent, there was a UN or European Union, some kind of general multinational conference in Europe. Was a good torture. Omusajja yali represent Uganda okuva mu government ya Uganda yali abyegaana awo wenyini mbagirawo abaana ne bayingirawo nga balaga videos z'abantu abali tortured. So if it's really NUP, why did that happen? The Internal Affairs Minister dismissed claims that the victims had been dumped, saying they ought to have reported to authorities. Let us wait for investigation and make the conclusion. But how do you go on to a foreign state and start maligning your government in front of foreigners? If you are in cahoots with foreigners to undermine your government, what are you doing if not treason? Are you praying to God? The minister said he had directed the Crime Intelligence Directorate together with the Crime Investigation Directorate to handle the investigation and bring culprits to book. Nenga NUP nga yo yewozezaako. When contacted for comment, NUP Secretary General David Lewis Rubongoya laughed the accusations of, "I don't have anything to respond to the minister, but rest assured that we even have police reports about the people we paraded Hey, Yagami, I don't have anything to respond to the minister, but be rest assured that we even have police reports about the people we paraded. Whatever he says is unfolded. There is one boy from Makerere they have been talking about, but police itself released footage confirming a tear gas canister had been thrown in his room, Rubongoya said. He insisted that every person paraded in Kenya was either a victim of torture, of abduction, at the hands of security agencies. Either the minister doesn't know what he's talking about or was misinformed. The people who went to Kenya are here and we have details about what happened to them. It is them, the security, that tortured them. There was no victim of accident at all. We have police and medical reports from Mulago about these people who were paraded in Kenya at this conference. Just remember to think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button. Peace.